The Regional Development Council 6 spearheaded the formulation of the Western Visayas Regional Development Plan 2023 to 2028 with a series of planning committee consultation workshops, strategic actions, and priority programs and projects that will steer the region to fully recover from the pandemic and realize socio-economic transformation in the next 6 years were identified. To ensure a coordinated and fully integrated socio-economic development plan, the whole of government and whole of society approaches were adopted in plan preparation. Let me share with you the highlights of the Western Visayas Regional Development Plan 2023 to 2028.
Western Visayas is one of the fastest growing regional economies, but the steady economic growth of the region was disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. The growth of the gross regional domestic product plummeted to negative 9.7% in 2020 from positive 6.3% in 2019. This was further exacerbated with the adverse effects of typhoons and weather disturbances. With the relaxation of pandemic restrictions, gradual and safe reopening of businesses, and nationwide vaccination activities by the government, improvements were noted in economic growth, employment, and poverty incidence. The region's economy began to recover in 2021 with a positive 5.9% GRDP, valued at 874.1 billion pesos. By 2024, the region is expected to regain momentum and cross the 1 trillion pesos GRDP mark. By the end of 2028, the regional economy is estimated to grow between 7.5 to 8.5%, valued at around 1.3 to 1.4 trillion pesos. Unemployment rate is targeted to decline from 6.6% baseline value to 4.5% as the region pursues activities to generate more quality jobs and employment opportunities. Western Visayas will endeavor for inclusive growth manifested by lower poverty incidence within a range of 7 to 8% by the end of 2028. Along this, the overall impact of other factors will be taken into account, such as headline inflation from an average of 6.6% in 2022 to a range of 2 to 5% by 2028, and food inflation, which is targeted to be within 2 to 4% by the end of the planned period. Western Visayas, or Region 6, is situated at the central part of the Philippines. It has a population of 7.9 million in 2020. In carrying out the concentration strategy, the region will foster sustainable urban development, increase productive capacities of agricultural lands, and enhance competitiveness of industries. To promote connectivity, the region will improve linkages to the domestic and global economy through strengthening digital connectivity and enhancing access to domestic and global trade partners. To reduce vulnerability, it will enhance resiliency and disaster preparedness by ensuring the protection of environmentally critical areas, building disaster and climate resilience, and improving access to social services. The region's long-term vision places people as the subject and object of development. Health support systems will be improved to provide inclusive access to quality, equitable, and holistic healthcare for the region. Capacities will be developed to efficiently address emerging and re-emerging diseases and to provide avenues for innovation in the healthcare system. It will be ensured that the social determinants of health, through a whole-of-nation approach, will serve as strong pillars in improving health outcomes. To improve education and lifelong learning, education systems will be strengthened to address the future needs of the labor market and be resilient to future shocks. Improvements in all levels of the educational processes and systems will take center stage in achieving the overall goal: sustainable, livable, and affordable cities and townships where residents enjoy a comfortable and secure life, resilient to climate change and disasters will be promoted. New, intelligent urban planning that creates safe, affordable, and resilient cities with green and culturally inspiring living conditions will be pursued. As one of the top migrant-sending and remittance-receiving regions of the country, overseas Filipino workers are part of the Western Visayas development narrative. The region will prioritize the protection of rights, promotion of welfare, and expanding opportunities for overseas Filipinos. To expand access to employment opportunities, coordinative efforts among government institutions and the private sector will be improved. Access to sufficient food to meet basic requirement will be ensured through strengthened implementation of food and nutrition supportive programs. To address the various threats of food security, the Western Visayas RDP will focus on raising the purchasing power of families and reducing the harmful effects of COVID-19 on vulnerable segments of the population. The plan takes the view that social protection measures mitigate the impact of vulnerabilities, risks, hazards, and shocks, and contributes to the overall goal of reducing poverty. The production sector will be transformed to generate more quality jobs and competitive products by modernizing agriculture and agribusiness. Efficiency of agriculture, forestry, and fisheries production will be enhanced, and access to markets and AFF-based enterprises will be expanded, and resilience of AFF value chains will be improved. To improve competitiveness, efficient movement of goods across the region will be ensured. Digitalization and innovation of MSMEs and startups will be accelerated, and dynamic industry ecosystems will be created. The region will embrace Industry 4.0 for technology-mature firms with the upskilling and reskilling of workers to adapt to technology. Western Visayas remains as a services-based economy. Within the planned period, the region will put forward strategies for market expansion, strengthening of creativity and innovation in services value propositions, and enhancement of intersectoral linkages. Tourism promotion will focus on multisensory experience, which capitalizes on the region's natural and cultural endowments, recognized world-class festivals, food and gastronomy, nature-based farm tourism, ecotourism, medical, health and wellness, and meetings, incentives, conventions, and exhibits. Expenditure in R&D and its commercialization will be aggressively increased. Market-driven and customer-centered research and development will be advanced. Research, development, and innovation collaborations will be strengthened while increasing partnerships for R&D, STI, and the creative industries. Western Visayas will be promoted as a trade and industry destination. Export products will be diversified by fortifying backward and forward linkages with the strengthening of export product innovation. Western Visayas will be positioned as an important ICT hub in the country. Western Visayas will pursue strategies that will foster growth of its financial sector, characterized by greater inclusiveness, beneficial innovation, and continuing health. Infrastructure development strategies will focus on facilitating faster trade and connectivity and promoting economic inclusion by expanding and upgrading the region's infrastructure systems to become more sustainable, resilient, integrated, and modernized. Timely implementation and completion of flagship infrastructure projects on connectivity will be pursued to improve the connectivity of the provinces, cities, and new growth areas in the region. The government will sustain the protection and development of conflict-affected communities, safeguard quality of life of people from criminality, and ensure protection and safety from hazards and other threats. Towards a responsive good governance and efficient bureaucracy, the region will pursue strategies to enhance participatory governance, reinforce public accountability and integrity, rationalize and strengthen government systems and mechanisms, and support competent, agile, and resilient public service workforce. Focused assessment and targeted action on climate and natural hazard vulnerable communities will be undertaken with the conduct of inventory, mapping, and capacity building activities on climate change adaptation and implementation of ENR plans. To achieve energy security, Western Visayas will champion renewable energy and continue to usher investments in projects that would accelerate reliable renewable energy resources. Western Visayas will continue to champion the energy transition to low-emissions economy in support of the country's national deliverables commitment in reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 75% in 2030. Amidst economic disruptions and other socio-economic shocks, the Western Visayas RDP 2023 to 2028 will serve as the region's guide in achieving socio-economic transformation in the next 6 years. Guided by faith in God and passion for public service, every humble dream becomes possible. Let us unite and work together in realizing the common aspirations of the people of a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient society. Mag-ugyon kag ululupod kita sa gihapon.